So in this video, we are going to talk about active and passive voices. In our life, we need to use sometimes active sentences and passive sentences. It states the focus on some other thing when it is active, and when it is passive, the focus is on something else. Let me talk and let me give you detail what does the focus goes on when we talk about active and passive voice. What subject does. Here we focus on that, what subject is doing, that is active voice. And when the focus is on action, when the focus is on action, voice in the sense the way we are talking. I would give you one tip in one of the videos or maybe today itself. When we talk to somebody, that when we are interacting with somebody orally, written wise, anyway, we are using the three techniques, the verbal, the words, and the physiology. So here we are talking about the words that we are using. Okay, so other details I would give you some other day. All right. So about the active and passive voice, what subject does, and when the focus is on action. I would take examples and make you understand by the examples itself. For example, I say she or Reena eats apples. So here what did I say? Reena is eating apple. Okay, Reena eats apples. Now when I want to make it passive, I would focus on the action. That is, apples are eaten by Reena. So now here what has happened? The subject has got in the end. The only focused thing is what is happening, what she is eating. The other second noun has become the priority in the passive voice. So when we talk actively and when we talk passively, the focus changes from first subject to the second subject, second noun. Okay, the first noun is Reena, the second noun in the sentence is apples. So the focus has been changed to the apples now. So this is what happens when we want to talk actively or passively, depending on the scenario. I would take 2 to 4 more examples. They are eating mangoes. So I have purposely taken the plural form over here, plural of people, like they. The noun is in plural, pronoun is in plural format over here. Mangoes are being eaten by them. So again, they have become the last priority at the end, and the second noun has become the first priority in the sentence when it is passive voice. Now, one thing you must have observed, that by is one of the common factors which we are adding, but it is not always like that. Always you don't add by to make the sentence passive. In like 80 to 90% of the time you would be using by, but many of the times you also would not be using by to make the basic sentence passive. I would take example of that as well. Like in present simple, in tenses format, I would talk to you now. Many more examples are given in your notes, but I would take few from there. Like we would talk about present. First, we would talk about present simple. I do my homework. Okay, this is the basic active sentence, that I do my homework. Now I want to turn it into the passive one. My homework is done. Yes, my homework is done. So by has not been added yet. Okay, now the sentence had become the passive. This is the active sentence and this is the passive sentence. So you need to observe it and apply it. Second scenario I would talk about is present continuous. We did talk about the tenses. So in present continuous, I'm going to say I am doing my homework. If you remember that we add ing whenever it comes continuous tense. So for present continuous, I am doing my homework. My homework is being done. One thing you again must have observed, when ing is in the main sentence, you need to add ing word in the passive sentence as well. They are eating mangoes. The mangoes are being eaten by them. So ing would be there constantly. You can't eliminate that. This is the logic you need to follow. If you don't put it, it means you have not actually turned the active sentence into the passive sentence. The meaning remains the same and just the words are here and there. So be careful onto it. I would take one more example. Last but not the least, present perfect. Okay. I have done my homework. Okay. My homework has been done. So yeah, you might say that we add been when it is perfect continuous. So we are changing it into the passive. How come we are adding been? My homework has done. We are, instead of saying, we would say my homework has been done. So there is difference between the basic sentence and the passive sentence that you need to understand. That's why I did these many examples with you, so that you get a good grip on it. More examples are given in your notes, along with the example on the basis of tenses, just the random active passive sentences. You need to practice it more. So keep practicing. This way you will get to know how to turn an active sentence into a passive sentence. The basic criteria remains the same. Here the focus would be what subject does. Here the focus would be what action is being happen or being done. So that's what you need to be careful for. All right. So this way I would meet you in the other video. Thank you.